My name is Daniel Scott with UDAYA.com, and this is Average Joga, a series of easy-to-digest yoga tutorials for people who don't do yoga yet. Take what you like, leave what you don't, go at your own pace, and learn to build your practice from the ground up. Basic seated forward folds. These are your bread and butter of your seated practice, yogis at home. Paschimottanasana, great pose to work with. I always forget the actual literal translation of this, but it's just sort of like the gently folding forward towards the west pose. It makes me think that I'm like folding forward into like the sunset. It makes me feel very, very special. Maybe at home you can think about opening up towards the sunset or sunrise or whatever you want. But the thing to think about in your forward folds that so often become the case, especially in the beginning, especially for people with tight hips, hamstrings, and lower back, is that we tend to reach forward with our arms because we think, oh, well, a forward fold, we got to touch our toes. And I'm here to tell you, to give you a permission slip saying you don't have to touch your toes. It's not about touching your toes. It's not even about touching your legs or getting your chest to your thighs. It's really about trying to get your belly towards the hips or past the hips without rounding through the shoulders. Now, think about life in terms of two different things. There's the sort of MMA style, and then there's like the yogi style, right? The MMA is rounded. You got like your fists up. You're ready for a little bit of a fight. And this is going to automatically put your shoulders past your spine. You see, as my shoulders are above my hips, if I round my spine back, my shoulders go forward. And if I take my shoulders back, my spine moves forward. The heart opens up. That's why I'm saying it's like the yogi versus the fighter. You can do a little bit of both in order to help get the awareness necessary to move forward and back in space. Now, regardless of whether you need it or not, doing a forward fold on a brick or raising the hips makes this so much more interesting. In fact, having your hips raised up on something comfortable just gives you some more space. Now, if you extend your legs and you can't fully extend your legs because you have tight hamstrings, that's why lifting the hips up makes it a bit easier internally to be able to at least have more space. You try this at home. If you find that the legs can't fully extend when the hips are on the ground, raise the hips up. Even a few inches gives you a lot more space to have the legs open up more comfortably. Now, having bricks is another very important thing to work with because it makes this less about trying to touch the toes and more about having the hands on the ground to support, to keep the shoulders lifted and engaged down the back so the chest opens up. So with the legs in front of you, take the hands onto the bricks rather, and have it be comfortable. You don't even want to be reaching forward here. Have your shoulders over your hips. You can even have the elbows hanging. And then maybe the bricks are in line with the knees. Begin to press into the bricks so the shoulders move down, not so they move up, but you move the shoulders down the back by gently pressing into the bricks with fingertips or palms, whatever you like. With the elbows hugging in, as you press down, you might find as the shoulders move down the spine, the heart opens, right? It's less of a round in the back and more of an opening through the chest. Now, keeping this gentle pressure on the hands, flex the ankles. Now, if your feet are normally pointing during a forward fold, this is going to be a huge difference. Flexing the ankles, and by flexing the ankles, I don't mean just pull the toes back towards you. I mean extend through the heels so the top of the foot moves towards the torso. So you're trying to get your heels past the ball of the foot and have the toes. If you want to flex the toes, that's fine too. But it's really about extending through the heels. Next, engage the knees so the kneecaps move towards the hips. So if your ankles are together and your heels are extending past and your toes are coming towards you, the thighs are engaged, the kneecaps are engaged, this is going to help extend through the backs of the legs. Coming back to the engagement of the hands pressing down, navel draws in, and then from here you're going to find this might be a lot of work. Good. Take a breath in, exhale, relax. And find the difference between the engagement of the ankles flexed, knees engaged, and the hands pressing down. And then the exhale, the relax. You see as you relax, the shoulders come forward, the back begins to round. If you try to extend forward with your shoulders, you're going to put a lot of pressure on the spine, and this is a great way to actually create more pain than good. So as much as you want to touch your hands to your feet and get your nose to your shins, I'm here to tell you that's just your pride messing with you. That's just ego. Oh, I want to touch the ground. I want to see what it's like to smell the yoga mat. Well, tell you what, spoiler alert, it just smells like a yoga mat. And if you haven't showered in the day, it's going to smell like sweat. There, yeah, I just took all your fun out of it. Trust me on this one. This is not about going down. This is actually about moving forward. So with the hands on the bricks, the elbows hanging in, ankles flexed, thighs engaged, what I want you to try to do here is move the heart forward and the shoulders back. So it's almost like you're opening up through the front of the body. Now with the eyes, look towards your toes. Don't lift the chin, don't lower the chin, just look towards your toes with the eyes. And then take the bricks and extend your arms straight. From here, keeping the ankles flexed, the thighs active, pushing down through the hands. Take a breath in, and then exhale, move your heart forward 2 inches. That's it. Take the bricks, walk them forward, press into the bricks, re-engage everything, and then your exhale, try to move the heart slightly farther forward past the hips. And you can continually press through the bricks every time. What you're trying to work on is keeping a long and straight spine. It's not going to be long or straight if you round. So pressing down through the bricks helps you keep honest and even in your body. Take this as far forward as you can before you feel like you're just starting to shake. It's too much that you're starting to sweat and it's not very comfortable. Take a breath in here and then exhale, relax and release everything. Now, at first, it feels really good because you're totally relaxed, right? Like your feet are pointing forward, your arms are out, you take them to the ground. You can just kind of hang into your own tension. But from here, with the eyes closed, follow this. When you're fully relaxed, hanging over your body, however far that looks, start by rolling the thighs together so the ankles touch. Then begin to flex the ankles, flex the toes, engage the thighs. Right off the bat, you're going to start feeling your body start to kind of create the line itself. Take your hands back to your bricks, keeping the head hanging soft, keeping the ankles, everything from the hips to the ankles active and engaged. Start pressing into the hands, lengthening the chest up. And you let the eyes, again, don't lift the chin, don't lower the chin, just look past the toes, and then re-extend the arms, press into here. And then exhale, as you press down through the hands, begin to bend the elbows. Maybe that takes your heart slightly farther forward. So this is less about getting the nose to the shins and more about trying to tuck the nose over the toes energetically, not by lifting the chin, but by extending the top of the spine away from the tailbone. You can press into the hands even more to make that happen. Breath in, breath out. And then slowly, softly relax and release. Walk the hands back towards the hips and lift the shoulders. If you have a very, very tight situation going on in your back, all you need to do is work this forward fold. This forward fold. It's about opening the chest forward and the shoulders back, especially if you have a rounded upper spine, a kyphosis. So the idea is not to try to fold farther than you should with all the shaking. The idea is simply to make those small movements that open up the body in the direction it needs to. Forward folds tend to open pretty quickly because the hamstrings and the hips, once they start opening, the lower back can release. But if you're pushing through the shoulders, all it does is put more compression into this place that you're trying to open up. Now, using this, you can definitely do the same thing with different leg variations. Upavishta Konasana, wide-legged forward fold. You can take the hands in front of you with the bricks, flex the ankles, press through the bricks, breath in, and then exhale. Use the bricks to constantly press down to lift up, which is a weird thing to think about because I'm trying to fold forward, but at the same time, I'm using the support of the bricks to help keep my arms honest and long, to try to keep my spine long without lifting the chin or lowering the chin, and bring more awareness to my legs to help me get where I'm going. So from here, using those bricks, you can walk it back. What happens if you don't have bricks? It's very simple. You have fingertips. You can do the same thing. You just don't take the hands out as far. Press down, shoulders down the spine, breath in, lead with the heart, lower the chin, walk the hands forward, reconnect, walk the hands forward, reconnect, and then when you're ready, flop it all down, and then rebuild the stretch from the inside out and see the difference, what it feels like in your body from just folding at the hips or building everything from the outside in towards the hips and seeing how that forward fold works for you. Just like any other posture in yoga, it's not a binary thing. It's going to change from body to body, from practice to practice, from day to day. So using these small steps to get you where you're going is going to help you in the long run, other than instead of just jumping to where you think you need to be and hurting yourself in the process. Try it out, see how it goes. So, how'd all that land for you? Hopefully it sparked a fire. And if you're looking to fan the flame, head over to UDAYA.com and enter the promo code AVERAGE J-O-G-A. You're going to have access to a lot more classes from myself and a host of amazing teachers from around the world of all shapes, styles, and colors. By all means, let this serve as a great foundation to build a home practice on that you can have for the rest of your life. Enjoy, enjoy.